Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Me and Rocky want to wish you a very, very happy Wednesday, don't you, Rocky? Happy to have you all here, folks. I hope you are doing fantastic on this Wednesday, October 16th, 2024. Man, what an incredible day to be alive. I just noticed that some of my animals opened up my door back there. That's supposed to be closed. That's going to bug the heck out of me, but it is what it is. Now I brought it to your attention. It'll probably bug the heck out of you too. Looking forward, I'm going to get a green screen or like a curtain that kind of goes down over in that area and blocks that all off. Going to have a really nice looking Infinite Crypto logo and so on and so forth. But anyways, hope you guys are all doing fantastic. I'm going to hop over here into the comments section real quick and just say, hello to all of you. Do me a favor, folks. If you're watching, you're kind of shy, I understand. I've been pretty shy sometimes in my life too. I know there's a lot of you that watch this show and have been watching it for months and months and months and months and have never commented, have never put anything, in the chat. And that's okay. We love you. We want to have you. But, folks, at the same time, it's incredibly inspiring when you guys let us know or let me know that you're here. I literally have a good friend that lives back in Washington State that told me he's been watching my Monday crypto mindset mastery videos every single week for months and months and months, that he loves them, that he just, they're really impacting his life, but he's never once made a comment in the chat or even afterwards made a comment, in the video. From what he told me, he wasn't able to watch them live, so he wouldn't be able to talk in the chat, but I've never seen once where he said, "Hey, Brad, this is Justin. Keep up the good work. Love what you're doing." I just happened to reach out to him in text message. And, folks, it does help. It makes us feel good. It makes a difference. It lets us know that what we're doing is actually having an impact. So if you're watching today and you've never said anything in the chat, please say hello, introduce yourself, and become part of the family. Notice here, Deadwood, is on just about every single one of these live streams. Every once in a while, he's got something that comes up that keeps him from making one of, work or something, important comes up. But he's here on 95% of these live streams. And not only does he hear, but he always participates. So good morning, Deadwood. Glad to have you. Mr. Eric Bernstein, awesome to have you too, my friend. One of the best personal trainers that you could ever meet. Excited to have been building a relationship with Eric, and just looking forward with so many of you folks that are on this channel, dreaming about the future and dreaming about some trips that we're potentially going to take, some tropical destinations that maybe we're going to have meetups and stuff in. So this really isn't just a, hey, watch the video, go buy some tokens and make some money. That's awesome. But this really is a family, and there's a lot of us on here that have gotten to be very good friends. You notice, the first thing that Deadwood said was, "Hey, Eric, how you doing? Hey, Brad." So, Eric and Deadwood have started to get to know each other through the Infinite Crypto Inner Circle and so on and so forth. And then we go down here. We've got Mr. Pablo Noodles. Good morning, Paul. How you doing? Hope you are having a fantastic day over on the other side of the pond, man. And then, hey, this is a special treat. My sweetie pie is here. She's not actually here in this building, but, she is partaking in the channel, and I love that, babe. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. What do we got going on here? 42% CGT on Bitcoin in Italy, UK next. Oh, no, capital gains taxes. Well, folks, that's another reason to maybe think about getting involved with the Infinite Crypto Inner Circle. My tax guy, Ernest Lee, not to sound too salesy, man, but he literally is probably the best in the world when it comes to cryptocurrency taxes. And not only is he an accountant and has a huge accountant firm, Decrypted Tax, but he's also a tax attorney. When I was talking to him about a week ago, because I'm getting a couple of LLCs set up, and he's going to be handling all of my business taxes, all of my personal taxes. He's going to be handling my son's personal taxes, my editor's taxes. One of the things that he talked about, I can't go into a whole lot of details on it, but he's, part of a class action lawsuit where an NFT project didn't follow through, didn't do what they said they were going to do, but yet they are still kind of a company that's got a massive presence. And it's not like they're bankrupt. They just didn't do what they were supposed to do with that one segment of their business, and he's going after them. And, so not only do you have a guy here that's an incredible attorney, but he's also an incredible accountant, and he's also owns, a Bored Ape. And he's very, very well versed in crypto trading. He trades Bitcoin and Ethereum, and he does a lot of trading, day trading and swing trading. And he understands better than anybody that I've ever talked to how to avoid legally as much taxes as possible. So if you're part of the inner circle, we're going to be inviting him to come on to some of our sessions where you guys can ask him questions and really, consider using his service. I think his service is pennies on the dollar compared to what he will save you in taxes towards the peak of this bull run. And not only that, the peace of mind of not having to look over your shoulder and wonder if you did everything right, wonder if over the next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, if the IRS or some governing agency is going to come after you and try to say that you owe them money, that there's stuff that you didn't report. So, it is what it is, man. The guy is an official sponsor of the channel. He loves Infinite Crypto. We love him. And, but we're not promoting him because he's paying us. We're promoting him because he's the best. And it just so happens that it works out cool that he wanted to sponsor the channel too. But I would promote this guy for free. I absolutely would. He is certainly an incredible man, and gotten to know him pretty well. You can go back and watch some of the videos that we've done on him. Love Washington State, man. I can't say that I totally agree with you on that, Deadwood. I lived there for 33 years. It's a little bit too rainy and gloomy and cold for me. I've much preferred the desert of Las Vegas and Arizona. Washington has some cool points. Unfortunately, too, Deadwood, over the last handful of years, I moved out of Vegas or out of Washington almost 18 years ago. And man, when I've gone back and visited over the last couple of years, the homeless problem and the way things that have deteriorated, there's actual areas in downtown Seattle where you can just go do drugs right out in the open and the cops don't with you. They have like these huge camps of, drug addicts that are just out there shooting up and leaving needles and stuff all over the place. So, I mean, I'd love to say that Washington State is my hometown and that it has this incredible, deep rooted love, in my heart for it. But to be totally frank, man, I kind of got to where I hated the place. And I've never regretted moving out of there. And I've never really enjoyed going back. Ever since I moved here, it's been like pulling teeth to try to get me to go back to Washington State. But hey, you guys don't care about any of that. You're here to figure out how can you make incredible gains over the next handful of months, man. This Bitcoin or this, video was titled "Bitcoin is $67,000. What am I doing with my altcoins?" So let's get to it real quick here. Dave P, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. And let's run over to CoinGecko. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of the Inner Circle Mastermind. This is my shameless plug here. But folks, seriously, this would be the best $97 a month that you've spent in a long time, in my humble opinion. You could go take a look at everything that you get here at realinfinitecrypto.com. And we actually have a promotion going on that we keep forgetting to take off the website. So for right now, if you go to realinfinitecrypto.com, you can literally go to the checkout page, put in the coupon code. If you're a brand new customer, sorry, for those of you that are existing members, you don't get to use this code. But if you're a brand new customer, you can go use the coupon code Build Wealth and get a free month into the Infinite Crypto Inner Circle and check it all out. So with that, let me get rid of that real quick. Let me share my screen and get over here to CoinGecko. I've got a couple of tokens that I'm excited to talk about today. And hopefully, folks, hopefully some of you came with some tokens that you are excited about sharing too. So now that we've got that, we'll add that to the stage. There we go. So what are we going to do with altcoins? Excuse me. But so here we see Bitcoin is, 67,700 bucks. It's up 8.5%. Excuse me. All of a sudden, my coffee is making me burp a little bit, man. Apologize for that. How rude. So you can see here over the last week, Bitcoin is up 8.5%, which, interestingly enough, most of the time when Bitcoin gets hit hard and goes down, the altcoins also get hit harder and go down further. And a lot of times when Bitcoin is making nice gains, a lot of times you see bigger numbers on the altcoin side. But you can see here pretty much all the way down the page, nothing has, well, here we go, Dogecoin. But for the most part, nothing has outgained Bitcoin. Solana here is, hanging in right at, pretty close. Basically even. There's a few tokens in the 3, 6, 7, 8% range. So there's a few tokens that are, kind of keeping up with Bitcoin. But then you have tokens, some tokens here that have actually lost money over the last handful of days. Like, how does Bitcoin go up, 8% and, Cardano only goes up 3%. And then over the last couple of days, when, the last 24 hours, when Bitcoin has really gone up, into some new territory, it hadn't been up at 68,000 for a bit. Some of these tokens are in the red. And then you can even see here, for the last hour, Bitcoin is even. But as Bitcoin is even, everything here is, kind of in the red. And if you go a little bit deeper down the rabbit hole, folks, so I'll show you this token in 10, because we're going to be giving some free 10 away a little bit later today. I put the link to that 10 video in the comments before this YouTube channel started. So if you scroll up, you can actually find the deep dive video that I did on this token. But this token, if you look at it, look at this. Over the last 7 days, it's down 25%, but Bitcoin is up 8%. How does that happen? Well, it's, I'll tell you how it happens, folks. It's pretty common knowledge that a lot of times when Bitcoin really first starts making major moves, it sucks the liquidity out of the markets. And so if we go back here to CoinGecko, one of the things that you can see here at the top of the page is Bitcoin dominance is sitting at about 55%. Ethereum is sitting at 12.9, call it 13%. So that's, about 68% of the market is in those two tokens. And then the other 32% of the tokens is spread out. Well, what you will find is as Bitcoin runs up and reclaims new all-time highs and starts heading for 85, 95, 100,000, the Bitcoin dominance will probably run all the way up to 65% or so, maybe even 70%. And then what will happen is all of a sudden that there will be like a little bit of a switch that gets flipped. And all of a sudden people will start taking profit from Bitcoin and piling it into a lot of these altcoins. So having said that, every YouTuber has a slightly different opinion. I know I've got a friend that I respect tremendously that is really heavy in Bitcoin right now. And his contention is that the way that you can make the most money in this market is been loading up on Bitcoin over the last few months. And then he's still got some altcoins too. I'm not telling you that he sold every dollar's worth of stuff that he had, but he's very heavily invested in Bitcoin. And he likes to take advantage of the fact that Bitcoin kind of sucks some of the liquidity out of the market and Bitcoin really runs up. And so, I don't want to totally speak for his strategy, but it appears that what he's trying to do is have a relatively big position in Bitcoin, still have some altcoins that can do something, but his main goal is really to ride this Bitcoin bull up to that $85, $95, $100,000 range, and then pull out his liquidity and pile it into some of these altcoins that still haven't made huge moves. Now, while I believe that that's a fantastic strategy, folks, the trouble with it for the average person, this guy is full-time crypto. He's got a crypto business and he's full-time crypto. He's got time to really study the charts and really be on top of his portfolio. So for those of you that have full-time jobs and you have spouses and kids and life, his strategy is a hard one to implement in a way, because it's really tough to know when to pile into Bitcoin, when to sell the Bitcoin, which altcoins to get into. And so I've always taken a little bit of a contrarian approach. And what I'm doing is I'm getting my money into tokens like TIN while they're beaten down. I understand that over the next couple of months, as Bitcoin runs up, that some of these altcoin positions that I'm in may not have the same kind of massive numbers, but they're going to get there. Like if you go back and look at October through, April or so of last year, October of 2023 through April of 2024, as Bitcoin ran all the way up to new all-time highs, a lot of tokens in the market did absolutely massive numbers. Aerodrome, even TIN here. If you go back and look at TIN ran all the way up to 44 cents as Bitcoin reclaimed its previous all-time high of 68,000 and went to its new all-time high of 73,000. So I think sooner than later, a lot of these altcoins are going to do some incredible numbers. So what does that all mean as far as my strategy? Well, it means that I'm not really changing, a whole lot, folks. I'm basically sticking kind of to my strategy. I'm dollar cost averaging into the projects that I'm excited about, and I'm still accumulating some of the top 25 projects, but I'm really still focusing on making sure that I have a big bag of some of these tokens that I believe are going to 25, 50, 100x and more. Like this token 10, I think it's sitting at a $250,000 market cap. It might even be a little lower than that. Let me go back here and look at it closer. Yeah, so $260,000 market cap. I mean, this thing, in my opinion, it's got about almost a 30x in it just to get back to its all-time high of 44 cents. So it wasn't necessarily, I didn't even have this one on my list of tokens to talk about, but it was just a good one to show you how, even though Bitcoin has been going up and smashing it, for the last week, that some of these tokens that are a little bit further down the rabbit hole, haven't fared as well. So another token, like if you go to, one of our sponsors of the channel, DIMITRA, one of our favoriteest tokens, something that I've got, one of the biggest bags that I've got for this bull run is DIMITRA tokens. You can see it hasn't, had numbers like 10, but you can see here over the last, I guess over the last 7 days, it's actually done relatively well. It's kind of kept up with Bitcoin to a certain extent, but you can see over the last, 24 hours, it's down a little bit. And if we, go out and look at, say, like the 1 month chart, it all the way, it peaked all the way up to pretty close to 11.5 cents. And then over the last month, as Bitcoin has done pretty well, it's retraced down to about the 9 cent level, and it's about a $50 million market cap. And so it's fairly normal, folks, for these tokens to have price action that doesn't necessarily correlate with the Bitcoin price action in the beginning of, these massive moves. Now, the other thing that I would caution people on is Bitcoin going to keep running up, and is it going to smash through and reclaim previous all-time highs? It's looking like there's a reasonable possibility that that could happen, but you have to be prepared for every scenario, folks. We could still see Bitcoin, get hammered a little bit between now and the election and run back down to, $60,000. And so, I know that's one of the things that you guys hate about us influencers. We're so wishy-washy. Like, just tell us, is it going to go up or is it going to go down? I don't know. And folks, it kind of brings me to my next point. I was thinking about this before we got on the channel and I kind of forgot, but it came back to my mind. I wanted to let you guys all know, like, I love you. I'm glad that you're here. But, part of what we're trying to do here, at least with my channel, is we want to get you to the point to where technically you don't need me. And most of you watching this probably don't need me. But I'll never forget, my mentor that turned 10 grand into 2.2 million back in the 17-18 bull run. When I started really getting involved in crypto, he was really hard on me. He literally would not give me the answer to almost anything. When I would ask a question, he would point me in the direction of where I could find the answer for myself. And one day I literally kind of called him out on it. I'm like, you know what, Jonathan, you're kind of being a jerk. Like, why are you being so hard on me? And he's like, Brad, I want you to be able to evaluate these projects. I want you to be able to evaluate these investments all on your own so that you don't need me. He's like, as my crypto portfolio grows, I want to have more freedom. I want to do more traveling. There's a lot of stuff. I don't want to be the guy that you come ask, questions of every single day. Like, I love you, Brad, but you got to get to where you can do this on your own. And unfortunately, it was kind of prophetic. I know that he didn't have any idea that he was going to pass away way, way, way too young, but he literally, unfortunately, passed away back in, I want to say late September of 2020, right before the 2020-21 bull run kicked in. And he never really got to see the full, fruition of his dreams and stuff. But thank God I was in a position when that happened to move forward and be self-sufficient, live on my own 2 feet. Like, you guys, you want to get to the point where if something were to ever happen to me, God willing, I'm going to be around here on this earth for a long time to come. But me or any influencer for that matter, like, I would love for you guys to be able to just turn off all social media and still be able to run over to CoinGecko and start looking at tokens and being able to, figure some of this stuff out on your own. And I believe that most of you can. I know that YouTube is a little bit of a crutch. I still use it as a little bit of a crutch too. I've got some YouTubers that I really love that are pretty good at picking out some coins. And I enjoy going and watching their YouTubes and, finding 5 or 10 coins that, that they like, and then going and doing some research on those tokens and narrowing it down to the 2 or 3 that I really like. But it is nice to have somebody that's got 5 or 10 kind of picked out of the batch already, and I don't have to go through, thousands and thousands of tokens trying to figure it out. But on that note, do we got anybody here? Yeah, so Pablo, I definitely believe that Bitcoin dominance is starting to, go up. And I think that there's a reasonable possibility that it's very hard for Bitcoin to run up to, say, 75, 85, 95,000 and still have the rest of the market go, get pulled up all the way with it. Now, at some point in time, what will happen is as Bitcoin really, closes in and gets past its previous all-time high, that's going to cause retail to kind of start flocking in. So what you're seeing right now is it's mostly smart money, in my opinion, mostly smart money that's coming into the market and realizes, hey, we're getting there. It's about time for this stuff to all take off. if you go look back at the 2021 cycle, the 17-18 cycle, and all the way even back to like 12-13, the writing's on the wall, man. The halving happened 6 months ago. We got an election coming up. Every time Bitcoin has had these massive run-ups, it's coincided with the halving and the election. And it's kind of crazy. I don't think that Satoshi purposefully started Bitcoin and set it up to where this halving was also going to happen during an election year. But it's kind of crazy if he did, if he thought that far in advance and realized that, election years could also be a huge, propellant here in the markets. It would be kind of crazy. Deadwood says, I have been stacking Aerodrome, Velodrome, and Ondo fairly heavily. Yeah, all three of those tokens I believe are going to do incredibly well. I don't know exactly what the market cap is on Velodrome. I know that Aerodrome and Ondo are a little bit higher up on the market cap list, but that doesn't mean that they don't have significant room to run. And I still have, let's see if we can take a quick peek at it. I set up some liquidity pools on Aerodrome months ago, folks. And for the most part, I've just kind of forgotten about them. I haven't totally forgotten about them. I've been, taking my Aerodrome and collecting it occasionally. But let's take a look over here at my Aerodrome website real fast. So, Aerodrome is one of my favorite tokens. And so what I did is I went in and created some liquidity pool. I'm farming it. And so if we go over here to Aerodrome and we click on, I guess I got to connect my wallet. Let's see here. And then is my wallet actually even? No, it's not even there. Hopefully I did all of that right. Let's see here. Connect to the proper account. Sorry about that, guys. This is something else I wasn't really planning on doing. Okay, so you go to dashboard here. You can see that I've got, I think it's three positions. This will pull up for me. But yeah, Aerodrome is definitely a token that I am super, super excited about during this bull market. You can see here I've got $228 in USDC, 167 Aerodrome. So at the time that I created this pool, I actually had about 200 in USDC, and I think it was 185 Aerodrome. So for a long time, this had flipped. There was one point in time where Aerodrome had went down in price, and I had more like 250 or maybe even 300 Aerodrome and only like 125 in USDC. But Aerodrome has been doing pretty well. But let's see what I've got built up here. So you can see here, folks, I've got 19 Aerodrome built up from this farm. I've got 18.57 Aerodrome built up. I'm earning 57% on this one, 187% on this one. This one here, I think I need to get rid of. This one has not performed very well. It's only got, almost 4 Aerodrome built up. I don't think you guys can see my MetaMask when I pull it up because I'm not sharing my whole screen. But I can, let me see if I can pull this up. I don't want to be on that account. I want to be on this account. Let me see. So I've built up 385 Aerodrome plus the roughly 40 Aerodrome here. So 385 and 40, about 425 Aerodrome that I have built up over the last few months through these farms. And, 425 Aerodrome at what I believe is going to be a $10 to $15 to $20 token. That's, $4,500 or so that I've built up in Aerodrome. And the original investments that I made in these was a $200 in the top pair, $400 in the top pair, and then 200 and 200. So I've got about $800 invested in these liquidity pools. And you can see that as of right now, this pool here is worth 229 twice. So I've got about 460. This one is down a little bit. This one is down $40 each on these pairs. So I'm only got 120 of my 200. And then this one's gotten smashed. This one's only worth 60 of my 200. But overall, as these tokens go back up in price, this will also even back out, and I believe it will come up. But overall, I think that this is going to be an extremely profitable play. And, once again, it wasn't necessarily my, intention to talk about this today, but I think that, I think that Aerodrome is a great play, and I do think that there's some merit in getting involved in some of this Aerodrome, liquidity pools. On that note, folks, let's get back over here and say hi to NEURAHUB. NEURAHUB is, once again, one of our official sponsors. Guys, it's the one-stop shop for all of your AI needs. I'm using the NEURAHUB AI platform to help me write a book. I'm using it to help me make better posts. I just recently decided to hire on a couple new people to the channel. And so I believe in the power of my own mind and doing things on my own. But at the same time, I came up with an ad that I wanted to post on Facebook in some groups, in some salespeople groups. And after I had the ad all the way, put together, then I wanted to use something like the NEURAHUB, AI software to make sure that it sounded as professional as possible, and that it really reflected, the quality of the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. So, folks, AI is here to stay. And if you aren't using any AI at all in any areas of your life, I would highly recommend that you check it out, because it can make your life so much easier. It can save you so much time. And that's what I really love about NEURAHUB, is that it allows me to spend more time with my family, more time having fun, more time doing the things that I love to do. Because let's face it, most of the stuff that we use AI for is not the stuff that we necessarily are super passionate about doing in life. I'm not excited about, going and making Instagram posts or Twitter posts and those types of things. I do it because I know that it's necessary to grow my brand. I know that it's important, but I don't want to sit here for 8 hours a day creating social media posts. And something like the NEURAHUB platform can help you do that and save you, probably 50 or 75% of the time that you would have been spending. Along with that is it really is just better. It's unbelievable how incredible AI technology is growing at such an incredible rate that, it really is smarter than most of us, including me. I ain't gonna lie. This AI stuff comes up with way better stuff than I come up with all on my own. And I need to use it more. I still do a lot of my own stuff. But I'm converting slowly, getting over and using this more and more. I think you guys will love it. I just want to give you a shout out, man. Appreciate you guys very much for sponsoring the channel. Paul says, I think they knew exactly what they were doing with the Bitcoin halving. Yeah. And, you might be very, very right, Paul. You probably are right. I mean, if these guys were smart enough to put this into play. I mean, Bitcoin is one of the most revolutionary, concepts that's come up in the history of the world almost. And especially in this day and age with the way that fiat is getting devalued and people are getting wiped out. I mean, Bitcoin really absolutely is doing exactly what it was supposed to do for those of us, that are adopting it. And, once again, we're kind of a little bit off topic, but I wanted to, I want to share something else here with you real fast here. On my Facebook page, I don't usually share too much, my personal stuff. This is my personal Facebook page, but I think that this is really important, folks, for those of you that are watching the channel and that maybe you're still not 100% sure if how excited you are about, crypto and if you should be investing in it. And here's a couple of posts that I've made recently on my official page here. Oh, hey, I'm even live. Look at that. I didn't even realize that that there we are. Interesting. It's funny though. Nobody watches me on Facebook. It's kind of crazy. It bugs the heck out of me sometimes. But they say, even Jesus wasn't a prophet in his own hometown. So you've got all these people that are the closest to you. Come on, what's going on with my screen? You got all these people that are the closest to you, that know you the best, your friends and family and ex-co-workers and different people. And I can't get any of them to really engage much on my Facebook page. But look at this. This is a really powerful picture in my mind. If you look, the tagline of this meme was, your house isn't going up in value, it's your fiat is becoming worth less. So in 2016, it would have taken you 664 Bitcoin to buy this $288,000 house. By 2020, this house would have been worth $328,000. That's a pretty nice little chunk of appreciation. That's about a $40,000 bill. But at the time, had you just held your Bitcoin, you would only needed 45 Bitcoin and you'd have had 328,000. So you could do the math here, folks. If you had 664 Bitcoin in 2016 worth 288,000, man, that 664 Bitcoin in 2020 would have been worth tens of millions. And then once again, here we are. It shows in 2024 that house is worth, 434,000. So that's a pretty huge chunk in 4 years. That means you made what appears to be over $100,000 in equity in your home. But folks, 6.6 Bitcoin is 434,000. If you'd have just held the 45 Bitcoin, what is 6.6 goes into 45, roughly what, 8-9 times? So if you multiply 434 times 8 times, you'd have, 4 times 8 is 32. You'd have over $3 million worth of Bitcoin had you not bought a house with this 45 Bitcoin, and you would have just kept it in your wallet. And that's going to continue to happen over the next 5, 10, 15, 25 years, folks. And it really illustrates why it is so important to get involved in cryptocurrency. And then this is kind of, like a funny one. It says, I told him to buy Bitcoin, and he said his financial advisor advised him not to. And, in my post, I actually posted this twice, but in my post, the first time that I actually posted this meme all by itself, I said, one of the first questions I asked to find out if a financial advisor is worth working with or if they are stuck in the past. So folks, if I'm talking to somebody that's trying to give me advice on where to put my money, and one of the things that they try to tell me is that Bitcoin is not someplace that I should be putting my money, I would run for the hills as fast as possible. Anybody out there that's telling you Bitcoin is too risky, it's too volatile, it's going to go to zero, it's internet money, it's pie in the sky, like anybody that has that opinion, run away from them as fast as you can. They're not necessarily bad people. They just don't understand what is happening with the world. But isn't that an incredible chart? Can you imagine if you had 445 Bitcoin? I mean, that would have been a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. 445 Bitcoin was $288,000 back in 2016. But there's a lot of people that maybe you couldn't have had $288,000 worth of Bitcoin in 2016, but you could have owned, let's call it a tenth of that. If you would have owned $288,000 in 2016, or if you'd have owned 28,000. So if we, I know I get off on my tangents here, but let's do some math real fast here, folks. Pull out my trusty calculator. I think it said it was 664 tokens. Let me scroll back up here real quick. 664 Bitcoin was 288,288. 400. divided by 664. So Bitcoin was sitting at $434 in 2016. So if you would have had $28,000 worth of Bitcoin, 28,000 divided by $434, you'd have been sitting at 64 Bitcoin. So a lot of us could have had $28,000 invested into Bitcoin back in 2016. If we would have just been patient and waited till today when it's 67,000. So we take 64 Bitcoin times 67,000. You'd have $4.3 million. And that is the power, folks, of cryptocurrency. And it's kind of one of the reasons that I always talk about how people make two mistakes. One mistake is that they're in way too big of a hurry. And the second mistake is that they're way too patient. So it goes back to like, quit being in such a big hurry. I think we're going to get rich over the next 3 to 6 months. 9 months is going to be fantastic. But there's a lot of people, like I mentioned on Monday, that have given up and that have quit because they couldn't handle the last 2 or 3 years of downside. And they don't deserve to get the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow if they couldn't go through the sludge and the drudge and the grudge of the last 2 or 3 years. But man, it just goes to show you, even 28 Bitcoin that would have only been worth $28,000, it would have still been worth, like if you could have bought a house back then for 28 grand, you would have been better off instead of buying a house for 28 grand and now it's worth 400 grand. You would have been better off just keeping your 28,000 in Bitcoin, and now it's worth over $4 million. So once again, folks, I'm not telling anybody here not to go buy a house, at the peak of this bull market, but at the same time, be very, very careful with what you do with your money. The people that are going to make incredible life-changing legacy type wealth that they can pass down for generations are the people that cash out towards the peak of this bull market. And then they still live, beneath their means. They enjoy life, but they don't go crazy. They take all of the profit from this last 2 or 3 years, and now they take that money, and as the market goes down into the next bull market, they get it invested again. And can you imagine what you can do with multiple hundreds or even $1 million or $2 that you can get into the market during the next bear market? And then what that turns into in 29 and 30. So folks, create your financial freedom, enjoy life between now and 2030, but have a long-term plan. And that's why I mentioned on Monday that I don't think a lot of us are dreaming big enough. There's no reason that everybody that watching this channel right now can't end up with 10 million, 100 million, or even more over the next 5, 10, 15 years. Does anybody have any tokens that they want to show me? If not, I want to pull something up on my Telegram here real quick. Give me one quick second because I want to give you guys an update on a token. And so I wanted to share this information real quick. So now that I've got my page pulled up here, let me run over and share a token with you guys. Another somewhat microcap gem that I think is going to do incredibly well. We did an interview with the CEO of this company, John Hargraves, a few weeks back. And the token, folks, is Elastos. So there's probably some of you that have heard of Elastos. This is a token that Chico Crypto was super excited about back a handful of years ago when he kind of got tired of Neo. And he really became a big fan of Elastos, which is the ELA token. And you can see here the Elastos token, folks. I talked about this a few weeks ago. The Elastos token is beaten all the way down to $1.79. It's got about a $40 million market cap. And folks, this was during the peak of the bull market back in 18, a $90 token. And one of the things that concerned me about this token was that it didn't do anything exciting during the last bull run. And most tokens that peaked in that 2018 bull run and then didn't do anything in 2020, 2021 are tokens that I would recommend you stay away from a lot of times. That's a very big red warning flag. But folks, this team is working harder than ever. They were just at token 2049 in Singapore, and they've got some huge announcements. They're working on some major things. So let me click over here and share this tab. But you can see here, Elastos. Harvard students and alumni launched groundbreaking native Bitcoin blockchain project at Harvard Innovation Labs to tackle global debt crisis. And so you can see here, you know, the new Bretton Woods project to tackle global debt crisis, and Elastos is a big piece of this puzzle. And so I'm going to put the link to this article in the chat right now. So those of you that want to maybe take a closer look at exactly what I'm talking about here, you can. But Elastos, folks, is just an incredible project in my opinion, and I believe that it's going to have a breakout during this bull run and do some absolutely amazing things. Once again, not financial advice. You know, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have to be right about this. But, you know, one of the nice things about being me is that I really get an opportunity sometimes to get with these companies and kind of see things from the inside out. I get to experience and I get shown things that, you know, just average people don't get shown, because I'm an influencer and I can ask questions and I can be brutally frank with these guys and say, hey, in order for me to feel comfortable sharing this with my community, I need to ask some of these tough questions. And so, you know, I asked that question about, you know, why we didn't see anything going on in 20 and 21, you know, and there was a couple of different reasons that they talked about, one of which is there was some change that went on inside, you know, the company. There was the moving of some people around. There was some people that weren't doing their job the way that they needed to, and they got replaced. And so that was huge to me, to be able to see that the company was, you know, taking responsibility, realized that some mistakes had been made, brought in some new people to rejuvenate things, and now we're working, you know, extra hard. So folks, this is a project that I'm definitely excited about. And then, you know, I am 143. That's a pretty good troll. I bet you I am 143 is a huge bag holder for the Trio token, but I'm going to let you get away with it today. I am 143 because the Trio token is a token that I believe is an amazing token. It was a token that we did a giveaway for just yesterday on the YouTube channel. We gave away 200 of the Trio tokens worth almost a $400 bill. And so when I did the deep dive that I did on the Trio token a few days ago, I guess it's been almost a month ago since I did the deep dive, the tokens were sitting at about 95 cents. And I bought 200 tokens to give away to my viewers, 50 tokens for 4 people. Well, now those tokens are worth $1.76. So what's 50 times 1.76? $88. So I gave away, you know, 88 times 4, I guess a little over $300 yesterday in Trio tokens. And so, yeah, absolutely. Trio, Ordinal's bot, is one of the most incredible projects that I've come across in a long time. We got to know the team at Bitcoin 2024, and we interviewed them at 2024 at the Bitcoin conference. Then we interviewed Toby Lewis a few weeks later, just on an interview with him and I face to face. And then we just recently did this deep dive video. And I actually, because I was doing the giveaway yesterday and I wanted to make sure that they shared, the information with their community, I was just talking to Toby yesterday. And that reminds me, Paul, I need to get the information for you for that Bitcoin, this ordinals in London. I think it's coming up this weekend. I don't know if it's too sudden of notice now, Paul. I dropped the ball and I never got you the information on this ordinals London that they're doing, but these guys are an incredibly hardworking team and it's doing amazing things out there. And once again, if you look at this here, it's got a $3.9 million market cap. When we first started talking about it, I think it was down around $2 million market cap. And so this is also, and look at this, only 10% of the supply is out, but it's got a 21 million total token supply like Bitcoin. This is a, kind of a Bitcoin ordinals project. They do Bitcoin runes, which is basically a fancy word for Bitcoin NFTs, non-fungible tokens. I highly recommend you go check out the ordinalsbot.com website. But, folks, this token, you can buy it on, Gate.io. You can buy it on MEXC. If you like decentralized exchanges, you can buy it on Unisat. Not a whole lot of volume there, but there's definitely a handful of different places you can buy it. I got mine on MEXC Global, but this is a project where the team is everything to me in a lot of situations, folks. I would rather bring to you guys a somewhat average token, average project that's got a phenomenal team, because they're going to figure out the product. They're going to figure out how to make it work. Where you could take the best product in the world, and if you got a horrible team, they're going to figure out a way to screw it up and bankrupt the company. So in this particular case with the Trio token, you got both. You got an amazing project. It's down at a phenomenally low market cap. Oh, I know. So on the tokenomics, even though only 10% of the supply is out there, one of the things that showed me how professional this team was is the remaining 90% is vested over the next 60 months. It takes 5 years for the rest of those tokens to go into circulation. So there's never going to be a big influx of tokens that's going to dump the market. Nobody ever gets enough tokens at one time to affect the price. So even though only 10% of the tokens are in circulation, I'm not worried about a bunch of sell pressure coming in. And I believe that this token is going to do absolutely amazing things over the next handful of months. So that was, definitely another token that we are excited about here. I'm trying to think, there was one other token on my mind, and I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, I remember here. Let me go back over to CoinGecko. I want to share another project with you. This interview has not been published yet, but my son, once again, we've been really focusing on some AI projects and really trying to find some incredible AI projects that we believe are going to do absolutely massive things during this bull market. And my son came across this project here called Link AI. And so we just interviewed the team. The video is getting edited. It's going to be getting published here in the near future. But Link AI is a project that we are super excited about, folks. You can see here it's sitting at a little under 14 cents. It's got a $29 million market cap. You can buy this token on MEXC, Uniswap, Bidget, Bitmart, BingX, so you can get it in a lot of different places, including the DEX, if you want to just go straight from your MetaMask wallet through Uniswap and have these tokens back in your wallet, or you can use, MEXC Global. But folks, we got really excited about this project, especially when you go check out their website. If we go to the linkai.com website, take a quick drink of my coffee as this loads up. It says here that they don't really want U.S. customers, but that's just a legal disclaimer that's there to protect them. All you got to do is click I agree, And you're right on it. There's absolutely nothing that can be done about you buying this token on, Uniswap or buying it on MEXC Global. But this is a really incredible project. Tell marketer you need to launch a project. So this is something that I'm excited to use as a business owner. And I've got some things that I want to launch, and I'm going to use this marketer to launch some of the projects that I've got going on. But man, you can just see they've got incredible partnerships in place. They actually partnered up here. If we scroll down a little bit further, I think it shows some of the partners that they actually have. Maybe it's not on this website. Where was it? I guess maybe it wasn't on this project, but they actually have partnered up with 3 Protocol, which is a token that we talked about last week. And so as far as AI tokens go, this is one that I would highly recommend you put on your radar. Take a look at it. You can see here, compared to the rest of the market, it hasn't done, horribly. It's, up a little bit over the last 14 days, which is not unusual. But once again, these are the type of projects that my son spends a lot of hours on CoinGecko looking at projects. I think that he has probably gone through 600, 700, 800 projects on CoinGecko, and he basically, maybe sometime I should have him come on here and show you what he does, because you guys can do it yourself, but he'll take, you don't want to start off way up here too high. So since we're looking for microcap gems, he goes down here, changes this here on CoinGecko to 300 rows. And then it still takes a little while. But basically what he's doing, if you go look at these projects, they're down from about 800 all the way down to 24 or 2500th on coin market cap. And so we're looking for things that are, down at 25, 30 million, all the way down to a few 100,000 in market cap. But, over the last month, 2 months, you see that we've brought maybe 10, 15 new projects to the forefront of the YouTube channel here. Well, folks, he's looked at literally hundreds and hundreds of projects, goes to CoinGecko, clicks on the project. I'll just do a quick one here. Like say you take this right here, whatever that is spelled, go mining token, or let's look at Cubic. So 296th on the market cap. First thing that he does is he goes and takes a look at their website, and if it's a meme coin or anything meme coinish, he pretty much just skips right over it. Like, I know that there's a lot of money to be made in some meme coins, and we're probably going to invest in a few, and I will bring you some, but we're also looking for tokens that you can hang your hat on, that you can hold for the next 5, 10, 15 years. So, the first ever useful proof of work, layer 1 blockchain. Okay, that sounds, slightly interesting. Now he's going to go down through the website and take a closer look at some of these things. Then he can come back over to CoinGecko, and you can actually, filter some of these projects and see what some of the other projects, some of the competitors of this project are, and really get a sense for, is this token, now this is $183 million market cap because it's up, a little bit higher, but he really can get a sense. And then he goes to their Twitter, looks at their Telegram, their Discord, and really looks and sees if this is a token that we want to reach out to. And then if all of the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, and it looks like a project that we would be interested in getting to know better, he will now message the team and invite them to come on to the channel for a free interview, so that we get a chance to get to know them. They get a chance to, get to know us. And that's one of the ways that we are bringing, all of these solid projects to you guys. So, and here we are. It's a little after 10 o'clock. And, I know we didn't talk about too many tokens, but hopefully, folks, getting on here seeing a few tokens and then also getting an opportunity to, just kind of get my train of thought on everything that is, going on in the markets. And I don't want you to freak out that your altcoins aren't necessarily, smashing it yet. There's definitely cycles within the cycle. Bitcoin dominance takes off. And then a lot of times you'll get your mid caps and your high caps, like say your chain links and your Solanas, and some of the stuff that's in the top 25 or 50 will kind of start making some moves. And usually, even though we get the biggest multiples from some of the stuff that's deeper down the rabbit hole, a lot of times the stuff that's deeper down the rabbit hole and the stuff that is only sitting at a 1 million, 5 million, 10 million, 25 million valuation, a lot of times it takes them a little bit longer to really get the massive pumps. Now, having said that, though, if one of these tokens like Trio comes out with something new and revolutionary and that, makes a big splash in the market, you can see a token like Trio or 10, or NEURAHUB make some amazing gains. So I've got some insider information, if you will, on NEURAHUB and 10 and the third one. Why did it just fly right out of my mind? NEURAHUB, 10, and Bitcoin Ordinals, or Ordinals bot Trio token. There's going to be some major announcements in November coming from all three of those projects. Once again, not financial advice, but in my opinion, if you guys go out and get involved in those three tokens, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be pretty happy with the results. Like if you're one of those people that loves to get a token and then watch it double and then maybe pull out a little profit and be riding the bag absolutely risk-free, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that those tokens are going to double in price in the next 30 days, but I very much believe that some of the announcements that are coming are going to impact those projects. And it's not going to surprise me if we come back here in 30 days and those projects have 2x'd or 3x'd or 4x'd. Once again, nothing's guaranteed. It's not financial advice. In my humble opinion, if it doesn't happen in the next 30 days, you're definitely going to like the price of those tokens in the next 60, 90, 120 days. But, you got to do your own research, do your own due diligence, make your own decisions, folks. But those are some projects that we're super excited about here at the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. And once again, just incredible teams. The 10 token Vladimir Malashov, he just got married. We've got a Telegram conversation. He sent me some pictures from his wedding, just an amazing, beautiful wedding. But once again, I love this guy's heart. I get to know these people on a more personal level. One of the things that I loved about NEURAHUB, when we talked about NEURAHUB on this channel and they came on, I got to know the co-founders. I got to know the team a little bit about their, their personal lives and their why. Something that's so important to me is why is somebody doing this? And you'd be amazed at how many founders and owners out there, their biggest why is just nothing but greed, making money. And, hey, for an investor, maybe that's a good thing. But for me, I want to know that the people that are behind these companies have good intentions, that it's not just all about them and how much money they're going to make, and that they actually care about blockchain technology and that they want to have something that's got real world utility, that's working and helping solve real world problems, folks. This NEURAHUB project is absolutely amazing. It's got a phenomenal little, affiliate marketing. It's not a fortune, it's 10%. But if you go create a NEURAHUB account, you'll get an affiliate link. And then if you share that with your friends and family, you get 10% of whatever their monthly, spend is. Now, some people are going to use the free version, but there's going to be a lot of people that see value in the $5 version. And I think it goes all the way up to about $20. Now, 50 cents to $2 a month doesn't sound like anything. And if you live in the United States and you're in a first world country, maybe it's not. But what you got to remember is that this AI technology is helping people in third world countries and second world countries, if that's even a thing, to have the ability to make more money and to increase and benefit their lifestyle. And to them, like I was talking to a guy last week that lives in Nigeria, and $8 a day in Nigeria is a very comfortable living wage. So can you imagine if he's able to use this AI technology and create a business or create something in his life that brings in a little bit of money? But then even more importantly than that, he can share that with his friends and his family and people there. And all of a sudden, if he's referred, 10 people to the program and he's making, $5 a month in referral commissions, that's like almost one full good day's pay. How cool would it be, folks, if you knew that when you were supporting a project like NEURAHUB, that you're actually really making a difference all over the globe? And so that's one of the reasons that we really love NEURAHUB here, and that we're super excited, to promote them, and that we're, so thankful that they decided to become sponsors of the channel. So I implore you, if you're watching this video and you haven't checked out NEURAHUB yet, go check out NEURAHUB. The link is right down in the description. Go check it out. Create a free account. Even if you don't decide to invest in NEURAHUB, use their suite of products a little bit. I know Eric, Bernstein, Eric, if you're still watching, with everything that you're doing with your real estate and all of the stuff that you've got going on, I bet you would absolutely fall in love with the NEURAHUB platform if you, checked it out, and so on and so forth. So folks, I'm going to hop off of here. I've got a couple of people that are anxiously awaiting me to be done with this live stream that are going to be coming and doing some work for the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. The team is growing. And so I told them that I would be done around 10 o'clock today and have an opportunity to train with them a little bit and help them to really get going with the company. So I got to get rolling and spend some time with them. But man, it was a fantastic day. I love you all very much. I hope you're having a fantastic week, and I hope you are getting excited for what is about to come, man. As Deadwood so eloquently said earlier, the next 60, 90, 120 days are going to be absolutely incredible, folks. Man, we're right on the verge of having some massive, massive, massive wealth come into our lives. And it's exciting for those of us that put in the work, and we deserve it, man. Our pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is here, man. So, awesome, Eric. I'm glad that you said that. Thank you very much for coming on and saying that. So, folks, with that, I love you. Have a fantastic day. Be ready. We're going to have some great content coming out. I believe my editor is set up to where he can work from morning till night tomorrow. I've got 4 or 5 videos that I've recorded that he's going to be working on. So subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, because over the next handful of days, we're going to have 4 or 5 videos hopefully hitting the channel that I think you guys are going to enjoy. So have a great Wednesday. Have a great rest of your week. For those of you that are in the inner circle, we'll see you Saturday. Need to get that announcement out, but we are definitely having a inner circle mastermind meeting this Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. For any of you that take advantage of the free month, man, make sure that you plan that in. Get into the inner circle and get into our mastermind meeting at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time this Saturday. So God bless.